Pretty sure we're recording. Do y'all see an icon?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful.
Oh, yeah, top left.
All right. Well, thank you all for being here. Welcome back to the SAP. As you know, every summer we do this 3-week-long residential program, but because of COVID, obviously we can't have students at the university anymore. So this year we've tried to create something new where we have a virtual apprenticeship program that is basically going to be an extended introduction to the mentor experience. And then we're trying to get students to sign up and then trying to negotiate some kind of a project that we can manage over the semester. Very much like you all did, it's just going to be extended out over time a little bit. And instead of presenting at the end of the program, we're going to get them in a program like KAS Junior or something like that, Kentucky Academy of Sciences. But like I said, welcome back. And if you all could, as you are SAP alum, what we're here to do today really quick is just to try to express some value for the program and try to let potential students know the value that they could expect to extract from involvement in a program like this. So real briefly, if you all could introduce yourself, let us know who you are and where you're from and maybe what your next steps are in life and anything else you want to share. So please, in any order you like.
Okay. My name is Simone Graham. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and I'll be attending Kentucky State University on a scholarship, full ride scholarship through the agriculture department. It's called the 1890 scholarship. So I'll be attending there as an environmental science major, well, AFE major, so agriculture, food, and the environment. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Hello, everybody. My name is Joseph Spencer III. I live in Hardin County, Kentucky. I'm a senior in North Hardin High School. I do plan on going to Kentucky State University. I'm a senior, like I said. So I have one more year, but I'm actually an entrepreneur, ag enthusiast.
Great. And Joseph, you've been working on something recently with some of the community members, a type of farmer apprenticeship program. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I've been working with David Neville and just going through all the different types of opportunities that we have for our young individuals in the agriculture department, or really the whole ag field, and the different types of opportunities that are open for young people, minorities, females, just trying to get the word out to young people. So that's what I've been working with and trying to work with just different big community leaders.
Is that a Hardin County only, or is that something statewide that you're looking at?
It's actually statewide. We're working on getting it statewide. Right now, like I said, I live in Hardin County, but I worked with David Neville, who lives in Frankfort, I believe. So
wonderful.
It's a little travel distance, but with a lot of this virtual stuff, it's able to help us to expand out and kind of make it come together as one. But sometimes you do have to take a drive, but it's always good to meet with those good people in order to get that face-to-face connection sometimes while still standing COVID guidelines.
All right, well, that's interesting. I'll be waiting to hear more about that.
Yes,
and who else we have? Miss Laterica, how are you?
Good. So, hello everyone. My name is Laterica Spivey. I will be attending Kentucky State University, and I was also offered the 1890 scholarship. So I will be attending on a full ride. And I majored in environmental science, and hopefully one day I can open up my own business. And so that's what I plan to do with my degree. And yeah. And I'm from Nashville, Tennessee.
Where was that?
Nashville, Tennessee. I'm from Nashville.
Nashville, Tennessee. Great place. Great place. All right. Well, good. As I mentioned, we're trying to note some of the value of the program, and I forget each of the individual years you all were with us, and some of you have been here multiple times for the programs. So you have a good view, or at least handle. So in a moment, I'm going to ask you to just reflect a little bit on maybe some experience that you've had at the SAP, or somebody you were able to meet, perhaps a mentor or a fellow student that was able to, expand the universe of where you could see your career ending up, say, in 10 years or 15 years, or maybe not even that far out. Who knows how much the world may change before then. But I just want to get a sense of how the program may have helped you kind of, plan your future. But before, I wanted to take a second. This is a video from 2018. We haven't did a great job of keeping the year-to-year videos in order. But I just wanted to let you guys remember some of the activities, that took place throughout, and to give a sense to the watchers of some of the activities that are normally taking place. But then also just so we could see the kinds of people that are there. As you see clearly from the video, we have a great diversity of students. They come from all over the country. And we have a great diversity in the type of people that we're able to offer that do curriculum. So outside of the STEM and the science, as the video shows here, we're at the farm learning how to take something that comes out of the ground and turn it into a product that we can make money. So for business-minded people, as Laterica mentioned earlier, the business of getting stuff done almost always requires, a business element to it. So, all of these experiences, they just provide another element just to let you know more about how the world works and more about how we investigate it.
Oh, that was cool. When we drew the lines and then had was that the ants when they were? Yeah, that was cool.
Or maybe the cockroach legs.
Was that the cockroach one? Okay.
Yeah, where they made the cockroaches jump.
Yeah, with the.
Oh man, this is about 5 years ago. This was when I was just a young buck.
Oh, you look so young.
I don't have a year on that.
When I say that was probably about 4 or 5 years ago, no lie.
You were having some trouble getting out of the water?
That was it was called Paces.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so let me just say there's so many other programs that all seek to do the same thing, and somebody like Joseph's been a part of several of those.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah.
I bought those boots for this camp.
Specifically.
Yeah, specifically. So when I got in the water, I wasn't drenched. I remember this too.
I was about to say I remember this too. Yep, there it is. That was.
So I hope you all are keeping up with a lot of these people. I've talked to them over the time and have provided, reference letters and recommendation letters. And, a lot of the colleagues that we had during these programs, they've gone on to very exciting places. MIT, Boston, UCLA, a lot of great schools, doing a lot of great stuff.
Oh,
counselors.
What's that?
I miss the counselors a whole bunch. Like when I look back at these videos and I see them, I'm like, man.
Yeah, I agree. The staff's a big part of it, and for them too, this is a good learning experience. This is kind of there's a lot of managerial and administrative aspects to just following the rules, when dealing with so many people, trying to keep order, keep everybody safe. Okay.
Aw.
All right, well, that's it. You see the college is listed wrong there. That's not our college any longer. They're going through reorganization stuff thanks to COVID, but that's another conversation. All right, so we just took a moment back and looked at some of the scenes, and that was only like 5 activities total, right? That was maybe one day of activities, and we really could make just hours and hours and hours of videos of just all the cool things, and we have literally millions of pictures that just show, every instance is just somebody on their journey, right, on the way to becoming somebody great or smart or whatever it is that you strive to be. So let's take a moment after watching the video, and if you could offer the watchers, they're going to be watching this on a Wednesday, I believe. If you could just share with them at least one takeaway from the programs, maybe describe one experience or or whatever you'd like to share about the program that helped you either change your mind about what you wanted to do for the future or helped you solidify your decision. Anybody can take that.
Okay, I'll start off.
Yes.
So for me personally, the number one thing that I learned from the program was just to learn to be open-minded. And I know that sounds very simple, but for me personally, I already know what I want to do. I want to hit the ground running. I just want to farm. I want to raise cattle, sheep, goats. You know, it sounds kind of crazy, but that's just what I want to do. So when I came to the program, that was my side of agriculture. But you know, technology is a big part of agriculture. And for me personally, I'm not a big technology guy. So when we were going like all these technology classes, I was like, man, this isn't really for me. But I was able to kind of sit down and just kind of like, okay, maybe this isn't what I want to do. But if it's something that can help me in my endeavors for the actual farming and, you know, hard work aspect of it, you know, and work smarter, not harder. If I can use these drones, technology like that to map out my fields, I can be sitting at home checking my cows while still in the comfort of my house instead of having to get out there on a rainy day. You know, when it's all muddy, if I can't get my four-wheeler back there in the woods, I can take a drone out there and not have to worry about all that. So that'd probably be the most important thing I learned, was just learn to be open-minded, be flexible, be understanding, learn everything you can so that you're able to help yourself in the future. So just because you see something and you're like, no, that's not what I want to do, don't put it on the back burner so fast. Hear what they got to say, listen to, and take what you need from it. So that'd be my number one thing I'd say I learned. And I'd suggest anybody else who chooses to go further into the program or even either further alumni, you know, I'd always say that'd be my number one thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with Joseph. Like when I got to the camp and we were talking about the different like projects we could tag on and start helping the other professors with, I already knew, like I've always known that I wanted to do something like environmental science and like environmental policy and stuff like that, but there wasn't anything specific to that when we got to the camp. So I started being more open-minded, like, okay, you know, let's try new things. So I actually tagged onto an entomology project, and most people, along myself, hate insects, but now I've come to love them differently because I spent literally 3 weeks around them all the time. And yeah, so just be open-minded, and along with that, also the camp helps you like create better relationships, like with the people that work there. And it's always good to have some people that you can email when you need help or have been networking with. So it's always good to keep good relationships with people.
Good. Thank you.
For me, I would say a big game changer is when we went to take a look at the fish. At first, I was like, oh my God, like, no, they stink. Like, get me out of here. But as I began to listen to the teacher when he was speaking, some of those fish were really bad for our bodies. And so that really changed it for me, because I would like to know, you know, what's being inserted into our bodies and how I can make that better, and you know, how I can change that. And so when I listened to the teacher talk about, you know, what fish was bad for us to eat and what fish were good, that turned me on, like, okay, so this is what I want to do. I want to find out, you know, how to make healthier foods, you know, what's wrong with the food I eat, and just try to change that. And so I feel like that changed the game for me. So that's why I'm going into food and environmental sciences.
Yeah. All right. Well, I really appreciate that. I guess just connected to that question, I'll kind of ask just one step further, and you could answer this question for either agriculture or for STEM in general. But you know, because we're the College of Ag, but our program is, you know, funded to be STEM. But did you guys come to the program with maybe some false preconception about either agriculture and what it was, or STEM? And then when you came to the program and you interacted and you saw the personalities there and you saw the type of work that it takes to be successful in that and the kinds of activities that you have to do consistently, did it really change your mind about either what it was or what it takes to be successful in that? and just to prime your answers, I just got this job in 2015, and this was the start of my interaction with agriculture, period. So in my head, and I literally grew up on an extinguished farm and had no idea, right? I had no idea, but I didn't know anything about really where the food came from, or how it was produced. And I had a misconception about the kinds of people that were involved in it. You know, agriculture is it's so much more than farming. It involves marketing and research and all kind of logistic stuff. And for me, I'm still to this day just blown away by how much thought and effort has to go into doing agriculture well, and likewise the kind of work that it takes to be really successful in the STEM fields. So, did you guys find something similar or different, or something slightly?
Yes, I found something similar because when I came to the camp, I was like, so agriculture is just about a lot of animals on the farm, but that's really not what it's about. It's so many skill sets that plays a part in that, such as problem solving, collaboration, communication. And during my time there, some activities that I, worked on, they included like collecting data and some marketing skills. And when I first came there, I wanted to go into marketing, but I didn't realize most of the things I was doing was marketing. And so I just feel like it was just a big eye opener for me. And I had an ignorant outlook on what agriculture was, and I was able to also inform others on what it is, because most people just think it's just about animals and just the farm. And so that boosted my thinking and my knowledge. And so
For me, maybe like my first time I ever came to a camp, I was like, when I first came to like my first camp, that's what kind of piqued my interest in it. As I kept growing as the years went on, I kept getting older. So, like the first year I came out, I visited the farm the next year and so on and so forth. So when I came back, the first time I came to the SAT program, that's just kind of when I knew what I wanted to do. So my outlook on agriculture was pretty solid. But then it transformed over from learning about it into turning it into my business. So for me personally, it was more of a learning how to market, learning how to work smarter, not harder. And that's probably the biggest thing that I was able to get from the SAT program. It was just learning to work smarter, not harder, honestly. Like I said, I've never been a really big technology guy, but the way that technology really helps out, I mean, they have self-driving tractors, you set those self-driving tractors going a certain pattern or whatever, you can be doing something else, not having to pay somebody else. You can have somebody else, you can be doing something else while your tractor's going, doing what it has to do, while you can be doing something else. So for me personally, it really just helped me dive more into it. And then I also learned about the different extension agencies and different ag agents that were able to help me. So that's what I learned from it, and that's what I really appreciated about the camp.
Yeah, and that's great too that you have this idea for that farmer apprenticeship program, where you can apply a lot of these same principles and make those connections for folks that are basically coming right behind you.
Yeah.
That's great. Simone?
Yeah, before I did the summer apprenticeship program, I had the question in mind, like on my way there, I was like, I want to learn how all of these things kind of connect, because not many people talk about how like technology can connect to like farming. Like that's not really like a huge topic. So when we were doing the camp, it kind of helped open my eyes to see how everything kind of intertwines, like everything is connected. Like, yeah, that it just helped me see how everything connected.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
I appreciate you all sharing that. And making connections is one of the most important things that we do. And ag, they may not seem that it goes with STEM, but when you go out on the farm, like Joseph said, you see technology everywhere, and all the training and learning that goes into planning for farming, that's what they're doing in the lab. I mean, half the people at our school, they're scientists that, wear white coats when they work all day. And So the last note about connections, Laterica, I'll just ask you real quick. Unofficially, your project, your group project, was voted as one of the best multidisciplinary projects. Not that we haven't had many great projects before, but because of the timeliness of the issue, with all that society's going through all, and the really relatively recent, I guess, acknowledgement of how large of a problem mental illness can be. And since we're the College of Ag, and we're heavily invested in by the USDA, suicide has become a huge problem that they've acknowledged, and that they're recognizing as an obstacle that stands in the way of the work that we're trying to do. So moving forward, more and more, we're trying to figure out, how we can add mental illness mitigation strategies, if you will, to our toolkit when we go out and work with the public. So if you could just real briefly tell me a little bit about maybe how this project went, and kind of a takeaway that you had, and maybe how that might apply to your future plans in the College of Ag.
Okay. Yes. This project was very interesting. Um, it really got me out of my comfort zone because I had to go through the campus and choose participants for this project. It also calls for a lot of research and just problem solving. And for this, I actually came up with this idea because I have a few family members that have this illness. And so, and also I see this as a big problem in today's society with violence and mental illness, because I'm always seeing on the news, someone, was committing suicide because of a mental illness that they had. And so I just wanted to put this in a project. And so I really, when I did this project, my mind changed. At first I said, okay, I want to go into psychology, and so because I just like learning about people's minds and the way they think and the way the mind just works. And so when I did this, like I said, I did have a change in my path. So I just feel like in agriculture, it's some things that can still that you can still use, like for mental illness, like knowing the person that you're with. And I feel like this still plays a part no matter what path you take in agriculture. And so I just feel like this is an important factor, and I really enjoyed doing this project, and it was just nice. It wasn't easy, but it was, quite a lot of hard work and reading. So
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to highlight that because, at the base of everything that we do, and I mean everything in all capital letters, is about the people, right? It's about living a good life. It's about people being safe and productive and becoming whoever it is that they want to be. And everything's getting really stressful lately. So this is definitely an issue. So for us that are engaged in STEM, it's easy to focus on the numbers and where everything's cut and dry and hard and measurable and that. But we can't forget that, at the end of the day, we're just all trying to get by. And so we got to, just keep that in the back of our minds. So anyway, I appreciate you all very much for being here. Again, the program is going to be running during the next week, 3rd through the 7th. Feel free to register and join in and jump on the chat. It's going to be mostly asynchronous, though we do have a schedule to allow for chat and talking and that kind of stuff. So perhaps for the times that your former mentors and all are on, you could jump on and just say, hi or something like that. But otherwise, does anybody have any closing notes? Anything they just got to get off their chest or want to say to whoever might be watching? No, you don't.
I
You don't
have
have
something
to. I don't know. I think we've covered mostly what I needed. But
Oh, okay. That's cool.
in any case, all right. Well, hey, you all have a great one. And good luck getting going with the semester and all. And I look forward to catching up with all of you to see where you're at in
All
short
right.
term.
Thank you.
All
thank
right.
you.
Thank you very much.